This is going to sound stupid, but blinking lights help me create better renders. And the reason for this is as obvious and simple as it gets. They are everywhere. In general, any structure higher than 200 feet or 61 meters above ground level should normally be marked or lighted. So from tall buildings and radio towers to wind turbines, these things are all over the place. You'll find blinking lights on aircrafts, train stations, and most importantly, in almost every science fiction film ever made. They are in Star Wars, Star Trek, and even in new series like The Mandalorian or The Book of Boba Fett. And that makes a lot of sense because it brings the whole scene to life. It not only adds a layer of movement and visual interest, but also a very familiar element. And the best part about them is they are surprisingly easy to make. Open up Unreal and create a new material. Call it Red Blinking Master, or whatever, I'm not your boss. Set your material to unlit so you only have to deal with the emission settings. Hold down 3 on your keyboard and left click to add a color. In this case, make it red. Then hold down M and left click to create a multiply node. Connect the multiply node to the emission slot and plug the color into the multiply node like this. Now let's control the intensity. Add another multiply node and another value. I personally like to set my intensity to around 17 to 20, but that depends on your scene. Let's make it blink. Right click and search for time. Now multiply that time with a value of your choice. That's your frequency. Right click and look for sine. Connect the nodes like this and you're done. Now comes the real magic. Convert the color, intensity and frequency to parameters. This way you can change their values in material instances without having to recompile your shaders every single time. Pretty cool. So what do we do with it? If your meshes don't come with a pre-made material slot, just add a sphere or cube from the actors panel into your scene. Make a material instance of the material we just made and apply it to the actor. Duplicate it and have fun decorating your scene. If you want to add variation, which by the way you absolutely should, duplicate your material instance and change the frequency. To really make it glow, activate the bloom settings in your post-process volume. Just make sure it's set to convolution because that looks 100 times better than the standard method. If you want to take it a step further, make sure to think about this when modeling. Just add the blinking parts to your mesh and give them their own material. Back in Unreal, double-click on the mesh and change the material to the one we just made. And that's it, you have your blinking lights, but they are nothing without a proper cinematic sky in the background. So if you want to know all about cinematic skies in Unreal, watch this video now.